Who are these people who can swim hundreds of kilometers and consume tens of thousands of calories? And how do they all manage to look so big? For example, this athlete's name is Caleb Dressel. In just 8 hours, he set 2 records, swimming the 100-meter freestyle in 47 seconds and 100-meter butterflies in 49 seconds. And this is what his physique looks like. Impressive, especially the trapezius muscles. And of course, since I'm making a video about swimmers, I have to mention the legend Michael Phelps, who immediately brings to the mind that iconic photo in which he looks like some kind of an alien, with a very long lips and shredded athletic physique. But even he fades in comparison to an ultramarathon swimmer like Ross Edgley, who swam a total of 510 kilometers in 56 hours. And judging by his physique, you'd really think that this guy is just stepped off a bodybuilding stage. People say a lot of wild things about swimmers, like how they eat like Rich Piana in off-season. So I watched a bunch of videos about swimmers to find out if that's even true, because honestly it sounded like a total BS. So here is what I found out. The current athlete Adam Peaty once showed a training session where he burned 2000 calories in just one cardio workout. That is about the same number of calories the average adult needs for an entire day. Here's the formula you can use to calculate your own calorie needs. But back to Adam. In one of his Q&As he confirmed that swimmers can actually consume up to 10,000 calories a day, though usually it doesn't go over 4,500, which is still insane. It all comes down to training intensity. For example, while we are using treadmills in the gym, swimmers often install these high-end pools at home, called infinity pools, that let you swim against the current. These things cost about $50,000 and up, depending on how hard you go. They can burn up to 1000 calories per hour. And I'm telling you all of this for a reason, because the main question is still stands. How the hell swimmers build muscle if they burn so much calories every day? Adam Peaty answered that pretty clearly. Swimmers lift weights too, especially those with insane physiques, and they train hard, using progressive overload and heavy weights. Adam, for example, does weighted pull-ups with 25 kilos. His bench press PR is 140 kg. That's solid even for lifters. Caleb Dressel, the guy I showed you at the start of this video, also said in an interview that he lifts in the gym at least 3 times a week, training for 2 hours each time. He combines strength training with swimming and leaves Tuesdays and Thursdays for swimming only. But let's be real, even Olympic swimmers are not huge, they just athletic. You're not gonna mistake them for bodybuilders. But some ultramarathon swimmers, yeah, those guys can really look like classic physique athletes. Take Ross Edgley, for example. Just look at the size of this guy. It is clear that these athletes aren't running on orange juice anymore. Compare what Ross looks like now and what swimmers looked like in 1970s. The difference is night and day. And no, it's not just about gear or supplements. Training methods have evolved, nutrition too, and the records today are just on a whole another level. Ross swam 510 kilometers in 56 hours. And I cannot even show some of the photos of what his body looked like after. YouTube just won't allow it. And that's not all. He's the first human in history to swim 2,860 kilometers around the UK in 157 days, in salt water. And yeah, this lunatic wasn't scared of white sharks in Australia or tiger sharks in Bahamas. He swam through Carrivercan Bay in Scotland, a place known for a massive whirlpools, and even crossed frozen fjords above the Arctic Circle, where the water was barely above freezing. This guy is absolutely insane, and he trains like it. In this video, for example, despite not being a calisthenics athlete, he does muscle-ups with plus 20 kg and does them pretty clean. He also showed serious grit on Neil Wilson's YouTube channel, where he kept trying to jump from one bar to another again and again, until he ripped off all his calluses.
Good, right this time. Big. And feet back. No! You snap the bar.
Snap your shoulder, snap the bar, end of video, like and subscribe.
Look at his hand.
Oh no!
Oh my God.
No, you haven't done it.
Oh my God. Look at his hand. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh my God. I wanted it too much.
This is what Ross is all about. No wonder the man wrote the book called The World Fittest Book, with the tagline "How to train to achieve anything, anytime and anywhere." But let's be clear. Ross's muscle mass is more in spite of swimming, but not because of it. Swimming really works every muscle in your body, but the load is steady and not progressive. That is why muscle growth has its limits. That is why Ross's weight at just 180 cm tall can fluctuate between 85 and 102 kg depending on how intense his swimming sessions are. In one recent video, Edgley swam 10 butterfly sets of 150 meters almost non-stop. It was brutally hard. Even he called it one of the most difficult sets he's ever done. And remember, this guy has swum over 2000 kilometers. So if he says something is hard, it is hard. To understand why, check out this clip. Watch how a sprint swim looks and how every muscle in the body gets involved. This kind of intense speed work, if done regularly, make it almost impossible to hold onto large muscle mass. That is why Ross trains like an animal in the gym. You can see it in the weights he uses, and in how he goes to failure using drop sets. After failure with a partner helping him, he still grins from 4 to 5 more reps. Let's be honest, that kind of intensity isn't meant for natural athletes. What you are seeing is the level of absolute outliers. Ross Edgley level humans. And to be fair, there is basically no one else like him. But if you know any, drop them in the comments. So to wrap it all up, why are swimmers so jacked? Well, swimmer genetics usually mean tall height, wide wingspan, V-tapered torso, all thanks to those massive lats. But still, swimmers aren't supposed to look like bodybuilders. So what is the secret? Weights. A lot of weights. Just swimming won't get you even close to the look of elite swimmers, because they hit the gym at least 3 times a week, plus they train explosive power, which is the backbone of their performance. These types of training is used in combat sports, wrestling and even arm wrestling, basically any sport where maximum speed and strength are key. If you want a deep dive to this kind of a training, so check out this video next. And with you as always was Fedor Chepki. See you in the next video.